Our other main story of the morning now, and hundreds of thousands of rail passengers are facing the biggest strike in more than 20 years today as Southern Rail drivers walk out over changes to the role of train staff. Now, services on the network are completely suspended for 3 days this week, with no trains running today, tomorrow or Friday. Train guards will walk out on Monday and Tuesday next week, with further walkouts planned over New Year. Now, the strikes will have a huge impact. About 300,000 people travel on 2,242 Southern services every weekday. It's thought to be the most disruptive rail strike since 1994, when signal workers launched a series of walkouts which lasted for 3 months. Passengers have suffered months of disruption prior to today's action, with regular staff shortages, signal failures and train breakdowns causing long delays. Well, Sky's Joe Tidy is at Redhill Station in Surrey. We can talk to him now. Commuters were told, Joe, to stay away. Have they been heeding that advice?
They have, yeah. There should be a steady stream of people going into that train station this morning at Redhill. It's just coming up to 8:10, the final train into London, but there are hundreds instead of thousands of people using this rail station this morning, and because they've heeded the warnings, as you say, of Southern Rail, saying effectively if you're wanting to travel today or tomorrow or Friday, don't bother, because it's going to be so hard on the network. There are trains running from here. There should be around 16 throughout the rush hour, but there are only 4, and they are the Thameslink train services. So there are trains running, and I expected, when I went and had a look on the platform, to see people ramming onto those trains, trying to get a seat, trying to get a space into London, into Reading as well. But actually, people have stayed away. I spoke to one man here earlier who's been using this station for 10 years, and he's effectively given up. In March, he decided, this is no good. I've been taking 2 hours to get to work. It should take me 50 minutes. And you hear these stories all across the Southern network, from stations right the way around the network. And here's what we said. Here's what we spoke to some people yesterday ahead of the strikes and how they're planning to get around them today.
We witnessed an announcement where a train full of people were told to get off that train and run across the platform to the other train. So everybody did that, and I was walking along the platform and I couldn't get in the train. So gave up, found my father-in-law and went to the pub.
The trains are packed, you can't fit on any train whatsoever. I've been here since 4:30. We tried for half an hour to get a train and we gave up and came here.
It has been hell, and I mean, we've heard about people having to change addresses, losing their jobs. You know, surely the government should step in and do something.
It is shocking. I mean, pay £3,700 is what I pay for my annual ticket, for a service where you are guaranteed to be late. You can't plan your day, you can't schedule things, meetings have to constantly go out the window because the service just cannot get you there on time. It's shocking, and all over who closes the blinking doors.
Well, Southern Rail passengers have faced problems now for around a year since this argument between the unions and the company began to brew. But this is the worst it's been. They've never experienced anything like this, these strikes today and tomorrow and Friday. And now they're asking who's to blame. Some people support the drivers and the unions, saying that they agree that it will be unsafe to have driver-only trains. Other people say that the drivers are being unreasonable. There are trains that are running on this network that are driver-only, but now people are looking to the government to do something. Here's what Transport Secretary Chris Grayling has said.
There's no excuse now for not getting around the table and sorting this out. We've been trying to get the unions to negotiate for days. They keep saying no. They could solve this morning if they just sit down, sort out a deal, call off the strikes. It's not fair on the passengers, their customers, that they continue to pursue this political agenda.
Well, time has run out in this instance. We are looking at a whole week now of problems. Obviously, the strikes are only 48 hours, but on Thursday, when things should be returning to normal, they won't be, and then all start again on Friday. It remains to be seen whether or not a deal can be reached before further planned strikes next week.
OK, Joe, many thanks indeed.